Yep, that is definitely Casey Jones. Maybe a little bit short, but still Casey. There's that long hair. That's Casey Jones. A maskless Casey. Okay. Looks cute. And, yeah. I see it. That's definitely Casey Jones. Yes, this is the Last Ronin Casey Jones figure. This line has pretty much doubled in size in the last couple weeks, but I'm not complaining. And of course, the box is covered in that great Ben Bishop artwork. Now, there was a ton of chatter online about this alternate head sculpt when you saw the renders, but in person, I think it looks good. I'm also pretty excited to see just how many accessories we get with this figure, especially considering the last couple didn't come with all that much. Let's take a look. Right off the bat, we gotta start with this golf bag. I mean, come on. Tell me you wouldn't pay $10 for this accessory alone. I mean, the detail, the paint is looking really nice, flexibility and functionality to hold all of the accessories. In addition to comparing Casey's, we're definitely going to have to do some comparisons of golf bags at the end of this, and I'm thinking this one might be the best yet. Of course, we get a bunch of sticks to put in the golf bag. They all have a very similar style with the white grip tape and wood grain showing through. We get that wide cricket bat, this hockey stick, and of course a nice pair of baseball bats. And we've seen sledgehammers with Casey figures before, but never this realistic. It's got the metallic paint on the top, plus if you have that Ronin footbot, that little smashed head accessory fits perfectly right on the end. This is a great touch, and now you really need that footbot figure. He comes with a loose mask, a little more cut on the sides for more of a Punisher style, and just one flexible strap across the back. The maskless head that a lot of people were having problems with, I'm just not seeing it. Even though my camera refuses to focus on it, it has a ton of great detail. I guess you might be upset about the short hair, but it really reflects what it looks like in the comics pretty well. Of course, you can put the loose mask fully on the face, or kind of leave it up in a half-on, half-off state. The head that came standard on the figure does have the whited out eyes underneath the mask, so you can get a pretty wide variety of expressions, as far as Casey figures go anyway. Taking a look at the figure itself, I'm just loving all these extra details they put into the Ronin line. They do a great job taking that comic look and just bumping up the realism just enough so that it's a perfect mix of like a movie accurate figure and a comic figure. Great looking pads, forearm wraps. The pants are really well done. I can't tell if they're jeans or slacks. And the shoes are a little bit more adult, I guess you would say, than I would expect a Casey to wear, but I think it works for the comic. He seems to be very poseable with a lot of articulation in the double elbows, double knees, a wide range in the legs. I didn't heat it up at all, and he seemed to move wherever I wanted him to go. The only thing to note is the limited mobility of the left shoulder because of that shoulder guard, so you're not going to get both arms to go straight up. The head can move all the way around, of course. Just overall a solid figure mobility-wise. You can get the bag on him without taking the head off, just be careful with that strap, but I think that's a pretty big plus. Of course, he can hold on to a couple accessories, and you can put the rest in his golf bag. But that honestly reminded me of his kind of back bat holder thing. We haven't really seen an accessory for Casey like this before. The handles slide in really easily, but the other end not so much. I'll have to check how they were actually positioned in the comic. But after messing around with it a little bit, I found out it was removable. So that's pretty cool. So you can choose to use those instead of the bag, or honestly just stuff it all in there. Comparing him to other Casey figures, we'll start with the comic style first. Obviously the Mirage style is a little bit more cartoony, but they're a very similar scale overall. We had him next to the original version, and then here he is with Target Casey. I guess mine is still holding on to that broken umbrella. Same basic figure though. Next up, comparing him to the movie Casey, I obviously didn't plan for this one to be so tall. He really does tower over the Ronin version. Next we have the arms wide open special edition Casey, and don't you dare tell him that's not how you play a guitar. This figure definitely takes me higher with the camera angle again, and his only sacrifice was that he had to wear Raphael's vest. Alright, back to the series comparisons. Here he is next to the Toon version from NECA. I wonder if they're ever going to redo this figure so he's bigger and bulkier like in the cartoon for real, but this version anyway, quite a bit smaller than the Last Ronin version. Just for fun, we'll put him next to the Universal Monster Casey Jones from Phantom of the Opera, who honestly is not comparable in any way other than the brown shoes and hockey mask, but there you go. And finally, for an original figure comparison, we'll use this Super 7 Ultimate. And the more I looked at this, the more I really saw the inspiration come from the original Playmates figure. Short hair, more Punisher mask, the shoulder guard, and that teal shirt, I think it's a match. But that's enough comparing figures. Let's get down to business. Let's compare those golf bags. Super 7 has great realism despite it being that bright teal. The Toon version has that nice leather color, but it's pretty much just a tube. A bit more detail in the movie version, but again, much tube. The Mirage version is so close with its combination of cartoony and realistic styles, but this Ronin version, I mean, come on. Is it even really a contest? Any way you look at this thing, it's perfection. Getting this figure in hand, I can easily say it's one of the best Casey's ever. The accessories and extra details really take it to the next level. It's similar enough that you know it's Casey Jones, but it has a lot of its own unique style. Thanks for watching the unboxing and review, and let me know what you think down in the comments. I truly appreciate the likes, shares, and follows, and thanks so much for the support as I try my best to make these longer videos. See you next time.